So this is like Mary Kay and Tom after the Browns games, right? So which one's Tom? Who's Tom? I don't know. We're trying it. We're sitting down. Normally we stand places or we sit in a car. Here we are high above Ohio Stadium after the Buckeyes defeated Rutgers on Saturday very easily. And the question we want to answer right now, Bill and Ari, is if Ohio State and Virginia Tech played now, what would happen? And I will preface it by saying Virginia Tech has lost 3 times since they beat Ohio State. They lost to East Carolina, they lost to Georgia Tech, and on Thursday they lost to Pitt. Bill, you are an offensive line expert. He played offensive line, right, Ari? He played offensive line.
Look at me.
Especially from an offensive line perspective, because I know you talked to some of those guys after the game on Saturday. How is the line playing different that might make an Ohio State-Virginia Tech game different now?
You know, the thing they keep harping on, and I think I've asked them this every game since Virginia Tech, how have you guys improved? And no matter who it is I'm talking to, the answer always seems to be we're communicating a lot better than we did against Virginia Tech. And we've seen it, I think, like Jacoby Bourne was like doing crazy hand signals against Maryland. They just seem a lot more in sync than they did against Virginia Tech. And Virginia Tech threw something at them they never saw before with the Bear defense, which I know we've talked about ad nauseum to this point. But the offensive line is now kind of prepared, I think, for whatever defenses want to throw at them. We saw Rutgers do a little bit of the Bear today, and Taylor Decker said teams are going to do it the rest of the year, and we're ready for it. And Urban said we're going to be ready for it. So I think the offensive line is much improved since Virginia Tech. So I think if you're going to ask the question, what would happen now if Ohio State played Virginia Tech, I think it'd be a multiple touchdown win for Ohio State. I think against Maryland, you said was Virginia Tech a fluke, and I think it's looking more and more like that game was probably a fluke.
Because Virginia Tech didn't just beat the offensive line. They blitzed and did a lot of things, and they had too many guys, but we think they'd be able to adjust to what was coming and be prepared a little better.
Yeah, I think they were young. They're a young offensive line. That was their second game against a defense they'd never seen. And I mean, give Bud Foster credit. He knew that and he took advantage of it. So I think now they're kind of prepared for everything. They're communicating better. There's more cohesion up front. I don't know if Urban Meyer still says there's things to be gained up front. And I agree with him, but they've definitely made strides.
All right, JT Barrett.
I didn't think we were ever getting to me.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't leave.
And I was like, I mean, there's cookies over there.
It hurts your heart when you aren't talked to for at least 2 minutes. How different would JT Barrett be right now if he was facing that Virginia Tech defense compared to week 2?
What's crazy is to me that, like, I always think back at the Virginia Tech game, and there's so much that happened in the first 3 quarters, but Ohio State was down by 7 and had the ball 3 different times with a chance to tie the game. And I think that with the offense that we're seeing now, I've got no doubt in my mind based on just, what they've been able to accomplish in terms of cohesiveness as a unit with some of the playmakers. Ezekiel Elliott's running a lot better. I mean, the pressure, like Landis said, the line, I mean, he would have been able to function in that unit a lot better, and it wouldn't have been all about him, and it would, the defense that they did might not have been as effective. So I personally think that Ohio State would have scored, if they were even in the situation where they needed to score a touchdown, you can put them back in that situation, this offense would score a touchdown and maybe win that game. So I think that you're looking at an Ohio State team that wants to prove, like you're going to write about, that's a fluke, and right now it's not the same team, in my opinion, starting with JT.
I don't think defensively they would make quite as many mistakes as they did in letting Michael Brewer escape, and the secondary then breaking down on top of that. They against Rutgers, they did have a couple plays where Gary Nova got away, and they did make some throws over the top. They seem to have a better grasp of when they're going to be aggressive. They still sometimes let teams complete throws in front of them on 3rd down or 4th down. I think they do it less than we saw it against Virginia Tech when Virginia Tech made those 5 first downs in the first quarter. The point of this is not should they get to do it over. I mean, you have to live in the world. The world is Ohio State lost to Virginia Tech, and you can't erase that, and that's part of Ohio State's resume, and that's something that's going to be part of them going forward. But Virginia Tech's lost 3 times. Ohio State has improved a lot, and we certainly think it would be a little bit different today. So, again, here from Ohio Stadium after the Buckeyes, for the 4th straight game, scored 50 points. I'm Doug Lesmerises. He's Bill Landis. He's Ari Wasserman. Thanks for watching here on cleveland.com.